It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Whether or not in Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect our interest in the region.
We are with Israel 100%. Thank you, baby. Thank you.
To start this video off, Israel is an illegitimate state that is currently conducting and celebrating the genocide of the Palestinian people, and Zionism is an ethno-supremacist ideology.
We want to have a Jewish state based on Jewish rules, on Jewish values. It's not relationship of neighbors. Why not? Because we have two different nations.
Additionally, the relationship between the United States and Israel has either been described as a special alliance with our greatest ally in the Middle East, or that we're enslaved by Jewish interest and that Hitler was right. However, I think the narrative of Israel controlling the United States is a half-truth and more nuanced than one would think. While both of the American parties are undoubtedly pro-Israel and Zionist, whether genuinely or for the money, the truth is that politicians and corporations benefit from supporting Israel and don't really get anything from supporting us. Now that I've said that Israel doesn't necessarily control the United States, you could just comment calling me a Jew or saying that I'm defending Israel. Get it out of your system.
I'll be crying if I look like that too, bro. That's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro.
All jokes aside though, the reality is that Israel depends on the United States in order to exist, whether through military, economic, or diplomatic support to maintain its security and geopolitical standing. Without the United States' support, Israel would basically cease to exist, and subsequently the United States would lose their grip on the Middle East and its resources. The quiet part that Biden said out loud in the beginning of this video.
For apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made.
Much like how the United States uses Ukraine as a proxy asset against Russia, the United States has long utilized Israel as a strategic asset in the Middle East. In both cases, American support is framed as a defense of democracy, but the underlying goal remains to project power and weaken their adversaries. Very similar to how people were saying that Biden was bowing down to Ukraine and Zelensky and that Zelensky was blackmailing him. At the end of the day, these people just make money off of fucking us over. It's all about power. However, as devil's advocate, I will say that our bond with Israel has lasted way longer than any relationship we've had with Ukraine. After the end of World War II, the Middle East was embroiled in the Cold War struggle, with Israel eventually siding with the West instead of the USSR.
The reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
For the majority of its short, illegitimate life, Israel has functioned as America's 51st state in the region, which makes it very unsurprising when politicians like Trump say shit like this.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too.
Massive annual aid packages ensure Israel maintains overwhelming military dominance, deterring regional challengers to American interests. They also side with America in United Nations votes and vice versa, and since everyone knows that if they war with Israel, they war with the United States, they often go unopposed. Furthermore, after 9/11, the US exploited Islamophobia and the war on terror to align its policies with Israel's interests.
It's a big catastrophe, and I'm Israeli, and I hope that now people understand what we have to deal with, the kind of people that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. It's just a catastrophe.
Pro-Israel groups frame Palestinian resistance as part of global terrorism, justifying unconditional support for Israel's security crackdowns and expansion.
The ICC is trying to shackle Israel's hands and prevent us from defending ourselves. And if Israel's hands are tied, America is next. And I'll tell you what else is next. The ability of all democracies to fight terrorism will be imperiled.
Both Israel and the United States have rationalized surveillance and brutal imperialism and civilian casualties in the name of fighting terrorism. This bleeds into the political stances of our representatives and leaders, because it's kind of an Occam's razor situation where the case isn't that there's some secret shadow cabal that's forcing grown people to do all this. They simply know that they can profit and get influenced by killing unpopular demographics overseas. I mean, why miss out on $1 million in AIPAC money when you could just turn a blind eye and let some random family you never met get blown up by an IDF missile? Also, there's the whole Jeffrey Epstein Mossad blackmail ring, but that's a topic for another time.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
The same especially goes for corporations. It genuinely baffles me that people think it's some mass Jewish plot that Facebook or Google are cozy with Israel. The entire point of corporations under capitalism is to maximize shareholder value. The same tech billionaires who are sucking off Trump at his inauguration aren't going to turn down billion-dollar contracts from Israeli companies. The relationship between the United States and Israel is not one of master and puppet, but a calculated partnership where both sides exploit each other for mutual gain. Israel depends on American military, economic, and diplomatic lifelines to sustain its apartheid regime and regional dominance, while the United States uses Israel as a militarized outpost to project power in the Middle East. It also doesn't hurt that political action committees like AIPAC reward Zionist politicians and back them in their races. These dudes suck so much that even rabbis want to distance themselves from them.
Individuals from religious groups such as Rabbi David Feldman with Jews United Against Zionism attended the protest to disassociate themselves from AIPAC.
The reality is that Israel, far from being an independent power, is a client state that cannot survive without the United States and corporate backing. But this dependence is not an accident or a conspiracy. It's by design and it's in our face. Washington has cultivated Israel as a weapon, just as it has done with other proxy forces, to enforce its hegemony at the expense of oppressed people. Until Americans can confront this truth and demand an end to endless militarism, the profits and the subsequent violence of the military-industrial complex and colonialism will only continue.
From 7 October through August 2024, there have been over 1,000 settler attacks on Palestinians.